That is correct. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in. This is your boys CB and DG3, episode number 67 of the Del Valley Sports Pod, part of the Fan First Sports Network. We are back on our typical Tuesday talks. Dan, good evening, sir. How are you?
Doing all right. Happy to join you for the Nate Herbig episode.
Nice.
Current Steeler. He was last year. I'm assuming he still is.
Yeah, you always know those kind of things better than I do, so I will trust that he's still on the Steelers. He did pretty well for them from what I remember, so I don't know why they would get rid of him.
One of the more apt last names there ever were.
He's big. Sometimes Herb is big too. So they have two former Eagles on their offensive line in Samalu and Herbig.
Correct.
So we're the farm team for the Steelers O-line.
Smart.
Yeah. Well, Barrett Brooks followed that trend back in the day, went from the Eagles and became a Super Bowl champion with the Steelers. So
we're the farm team for the Georgia Bulldogs. So everyone's got a farm team.
Yeah, we're the major league team, and the Bulldogs are our.
They're our farm team. Sorry, they're our farm team.
No, you're good. I knew what you were saying. So we'll start with a little bit of Phillies. Obviously, it is baseball season full on. So to recap of the last week, swept the Piratos. And Mick Abel made his major league debut.
Wow.
Jose Alvarado done for the season. So big news on both. Where do you want to start?
Let's get Alvarado out of the way. I love Mom. He has this adorable moment on Mother's Day where he writes, "I love Mom" on his hat. And then almost a week later, he gets busted for PEDs. I didn't look into the details of like his response or what happened because they don't usually go, "Oh, yep, I did it." You got me.
I know what happened, and it kind of sucks for him because I don't think he was cheating the rules. He was taking Ozempic to lose weight, and in some people that can create high levels of testosterone and some atypical growth hormone, which was above the levels that was acceptable by Major League Baseball.
Dang.
So
Dang.
banned. And I saw a clip on Twitter.
Hot drug right now.
Yeah. Dave Dombrowski said in a press conference, I'm not sure if it was over the last few days or if it was from a little bit while back, but apparently Jose Alvarado has been very self-conscious about his weight. So him taking Ozempic was a big deal for him. He was feeling more confident. He was pitching great. Whether or not that's related to his weight loss or not, I'm not sure. But, I don't think he was trying to cheat the system. He just took a substance. And this has happened more than a few times in different sports where you're taking a supplement and it just has adverse effects and creates, chemicals, hormones in your body that are deemed illegal. So Alvarado banned or suspended for 80 games, will not be able to play in the postseason. A big blow to the Phillies bullpen.
Did the team know he was taking it? Do you know?
I can't confirm that they did know. I feel like some people probably did. And again, I don't think it's on the banned substances list of the MLB, but it was just a side effect of it that when he got tested, he got busted, and it's a shitty situation because he was having a great season.
Obviously, we're biased to the Phillies, but this is very much not the same situation as the Profar situation with the Braves. Like, if you look at his baseball reference page, it's pretty crazy that he clearly took something that made him 100 times better of a baseball player. If you ever get the time to look at his exit velo in every year of his career, and then last year, all of the blue going to red. Very much, this does seem like a little bit more of a. And you know what? You said he's self-conscious about his weight. There was that viral clip that went out, I think it was at the end of spring training last year, where he was just like, "I'm fat, man.
Exactly.
I'm freaking fat."
Yeah.
So, that is not surprising to me because that clip was, funny, but you could sense that in that clip, too, so.
Yeah, and Iceman, thank you for checking in as always. He should have stuck with his 12 daily cups of coffee. Yeah, apparently espresso wasn't suppressing his appetite enough.
Yeah.
I know if I had 12 shots of espresso, I'd, 1, lose my mind, and 2, probably not be too hungry. But apparently that wasn't doing it for him.
He's going to be making a lot of necklaces.
Yes, he is. He's got a lot of free time now.
Got a lot of free time.
I hope this doesn't contribute to his weight gain again, since he has all this free time. What do you do? Like this. Okay, this guy can't play baseball for 3 months. I mean, if you're that player, obviously you're going to be in the gym, and he's allowed to be around the locker room, right?
I don't know, man.
I don't know the
honestly
details of
am
this.
Not sure. I can't remember. But
If he's not, that has to suck. I mean, like, what do you do as a professional athlete when you just can't play?
I mean, he's got to keep his arm going some way. So
Yeah.
he's got to probably try to stick to his baseball routine.
I'm sure he's got trainers and a team that even if he's not allowed at the facility, he's got somewhere to go and continue pitching and practicing his craft.
Yeah.
So, yeah, major blow. And this, you have to think, will lead to them making some kind of move at the deadline to get a closer or back end bullpen piece.
Well,
that's a huge hole.
Maybe it more so means that they're going to make a move sooner than that, which
that's true.
I think would be a good thing, because then, at the deadline, you're fighting against everyone else who wants that back of the bullpen closer guy. I mean, I know you got to pay more to get it earlier, and not as many guys are available because a lot of teams still think they have a chance, so they don't like the. A good example is the Cardinals. The Cardinals have a closer, Ryan Helsley, who's pretty good, and I think on the last year of his contract. But now the Cardinals are starting to win games, so I don't know. It might be tough to pry him away now, whereas at the trade deadline, the Cardinals maybe come back down a little bit, and it's like, okay, yeah, they are who we thought they were. We're going to trade them. So, but I don't know. It could make the Phillies a little bit more aggressive prior to the trade deadline, which would be kind of exciting, I think, for us.
Yeah. It was always kind of assumed that the Phillies were going to do something in terms of their bullpen based on how badly it started, and this is just moving it up the timeline. I'm curious as to whether they have anybody down in AAA that they might pull up in the meantime. I mean, we already seen McAbel come up. He was sent back down. I forget who McAbel pitched one game on Sunday and then was sent back down immediately. And someone else was brought up, and I forget the name of the guy who was.
Outdueled Paul Skeens.
Which is hard to do.
Crazy.
I mean, he went, 6 scoreless and was it 9 strikeouts?
Yep. Six scoreless, 9 strikeouts, like 84 pitches, I want to say.
Yeah. And we've been hearing about this guy for 3 years plus now. And it's great to see him come up and show out in his first appearance. A lot of times, we hear about guys, they come up, they kind of get gun shy, shell shocked. They get lit up in their first appearance, and then it just doesn't end well. They get sent back down, and it's kind of hit or miss from there. So I'm hoping he gains some confidence from coming in and having a stellar outing. Now, we have to put that with a grain of salt that it was the Pirates, who are one of the worst teams in baseball, but they're still a major league roster.
Any part of this, like trade baity?
Oh,
pull him up. Let's show what he's got.
Show his stuff.
I know the whole plan was always the one and done. Everything I've seen is he was coming up, he was going back down, regardless of outcome. That was always going to be the case, 100%. But still, when you have kind of this quote unquote excess of starting pitchers at such a valuable position, it just makes me wonder. I'm sure we'll see him again before he would be traded, but just a thought.
I'm sure it plays into it with the whole Alvarado thing that they want to bring him up, see what they have, and see if that maybe gets talks going. If they use him as a trade piece, they at least have some major league bona fide pitching action to use on him. It would just suck. I mean, they're trying to win now, and they have a limited window with Harper and Turner and Schwarber, Castellanos. All these guys are getting old and going on contracts. So they're in that tough spot. It's like, do we win now? Do we play for the future? Because they have a lot of great young prospects. They got Abel. They have Andrew Painter. I want to see them bring up Otto Kemp because he has been tearing it up in AAA. But they just, again, they don't have a spot for him, really.
There's not a spot. I mean, we didn't have a spot for freaking Cody Clemens let alone some currently like no name guy in AAA. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
it almost feels like it does the guy disservice because the guy can't get in any routine or rhythm playing as infrequent as they would probably play. I mean, it would have to be an injury, which, injuries happen. I'm sure there will be an injury at some point that opens the door for one of these guys. But
Yeah, because he's an infielder by trade, I think, right? Like third base is his main position. But they were trying to play him out in the outfield and maybe see, if Max Kepler didn't work out, if they could maybe put him in left field. Obviously,
yeah.
Kepler's been working out, so that's again the Phillies have pretty rock solid pieces across the board. So it's hard to bring up players from AAA when you don't have a spot to put them.
It just blows my mind. I don't get how this happens where, you would think that the worst teams in baseball have the best like young players. The Phillies have been a good team for like a really long time now. Like this has been a long stretch, and they still have a couple of like studs in the minors knocking on the door. Like, good job, Phillies. Good org status right there. I mean, you got these horrible baseball teams, the Pirates, the Rockies, and there's nobody. There's like nobody, dude. It's crazy. They have some pretty good depth and some pretty good young guys, which are usually huge. If you're in the win now mode, I mean, those are huge trade pieces most of the time if you're like really going for it. But yeah.
And hey, always having good young pieces doesn't necessarily you're going to have a great baseball team for a long run. And I'm talking about you, Baltimore Orioles, because they had one of the best young teams last year. I mean, they won over 100 games a few years ago, 91 last year. They were bona fide, obviously, playoff team, looking great with Gunnar Henderson and all of the other young players, right? Gunnar Henderson's, I'm getting that right, I think.
Yeah.
Regardless, they're awful this year. I don't know what has happened. Nobody knows. They fired their manager, and it's only 48 games into the season. So just because you have a young roster of promising prospects doesn't necessarily lend to long-term success. So I'm again, as we talked about last week, I'm very content and happy where the Phillies are now. It just kind of stinks that we have these promising pieces that we can't bring up.
I wonder if there's any world in which the Orioles kind of try to shake things up a lot and not go back to like rebuild, but kind of shake things up and trade like their closer Felix Bautista, the Mountain. I mean, if you feel like in any situation, it's kind of like the A's situation, why they thought they should trade him last year and maybe this year. Like, if your team is not that close, holding on to a closer, it's like kind of silly, right? I mean, it's kind of especially if it's a high value type guy you can get a lot from, but just daydreaming, that would be awesome. That'd be like replacing Alvarado straight up. Ginormous dude that just throws gas.
Well, one of the names I've heard that have been thrown out is Mason Miller from the A's.
Of course.
In terms of adding a closer. Everybody,
he's awesome.
He's so good. I mean, the guy
comes out to Nickelback.
What?
He comes out to Nickelback.
Oh, yeah. You sent me that video. Burn it to the ground.
Burn it to the ground.
Yeah. Great walk-up song.
Before his time. I'm impressed.
Yeah. 27-year-old banging Nickelback on the way out.
I like that.
I absolutely, we're kind of in that genre
where
Nickelback, we're Nickelback and Creed were like the best bands of the early 2000s, and we remember them before they got hated by the world. Great come out song out of the bullpen. That video was good. So there's a litany of options.
Finnegan for the Nationals will be a guy that's moved. I don't know if there's any interest there.
Yeah, as what you said, this opens up a lot of options for what the Phillies need to do for this year and maybe going forward, and it just bumps up the timeline. It's going to happen sooner than probably the deadline. Do you have anything on Mick Abel and his start? I didn't really get to watch it much on Sunday. I was watching golf and also golfing myself, so I watched highlights, but I didn't get to watch the game.
Yeah, kind of same for me. I was working that day. He looked really good. I was able to listen to part of it, and even though he pitched really well, it seemed like the broadcasters were a little bit bothered by the home plate umpire and missed calls, and he still had 9 strikeouts, which is pretty crazy. So no, man, not a lot to add. It's a small sample size, so I don't think that it's a fair. Next time he comes out to pitch, he's going to have an unreasonably high bar to reach. But yeah, it's pretty exciting to get production out of a guy that was kind of like not even like truly on your radar for the major league team this year. For being honest,
Yeah,
And then Nola goes to the 15-day, right? So
yes,
nice to know that he's ready to go if we need him.
Yeah, and luckily they have a few easy series coming up. They beat the Rockies last night 9-3. Edmundo Sosa and Alec Boehm go yard. Don't see that much. Little Birdie told me last night, put some shekels down on Alec Boehm to go yard, and I did. Unfortunately, I parlayed that with Naylor from the Diamondbacks, who did not go yard, so didn't get any money. But good to see Boehm hit one out.
Boomer's got 3 home runs in his last 15.
Love that.
2 in his last 7.
Starting to swing the bat a little bit better. But, yeah, they play the Rockies, who are the worst team in baseball and might be historically bad. They could win or lose upward of 130 games.
I think they're on pace
to lose 134, last I checked. Like, worst team ever in baseball. It's hard to do. And then they go from...
The team pulling for them the most to lose games is definitely the Chicago White Sox. Are like,
yes.
Please, if we could erase that, like, immediately, that would be awesome.
Yeah, that happened just last year.
Last year. And now we have this. It looks like the White Sox team from last year. What's up with this?
I see your suck, and I raise you one.
Seriously, it's crazy.
So they go from Colorado tonight and tomorrow into a 3-game series with the A's over the weekend. So a little easy 6-game road trip before they come back and face the Braves. Oh, we got Braves, Brewers, and Blue Jays. The Bees.
The Bees are buzzing. Yeah, the A's are a really fun team. I actually really like the A's this year. They just have a lot of really fun young talent. They have a guy playing shortstop that just like does not strike out. He's kind of like the Luis Arias. He doesn't strike out, except he's a little faster. Not a speedster though. Plays shortstop. He's the son of a ball player too, Jack Wilson, and he's just awesome. So they actually have some fun young talent on that team, but their pitching is not great. So I'm hoping, and their bullpen, apart from Mason Miller, has been pretty horrible, and that's been a big recipe for the Phillies, right? Is hitting bullpens, and we saw that last night. Freeland held his own for a while. And then they brought in the bullpen, and the Phillies just freaking mashed. I would have loved to see Harper hit a home run off of Bird. Is his first name Jake? I want to say it's Jake Bird.
I'm not sure.
Because that was do you remember that? The moment they had like a year or 2 years ago?
You're going to have to refresh my memory. It sounds vaguely familiar, but I'm not exactly sure what you're talking about.
Bird struck him out, I think, for the 3rd out or something like that. And then Bird started like making a big deal about it and chirping. And he was having like a pretty bad inning to begin with, if I remember correctly. And Harper did not appreciate that. And they got into an altercation. So we were all kind of waiting to see if something was going to go down last night. But they were cordial.
That kind of rings a bell. Harper was jawing at him. He's like, "What are you celebrating?" That kind of thing.
Yeah, dude, like chill. You didn't do anything, bro.
So what? I strike out. That happens.
Are you?
So yeah. I am looking forward to seeing yet again another AAA ballpark that the Phillies are visiting. A few weeks ago, it was at the Rays, and that blew up on Twitter with the beer guy. I didn't expect that. That was hilarious.
That was awesome, dude.
If you don't know what we're talking about, there is a famous vendor at the Phillies spring training stadium down there in Clearwater who you can hear him on the broadcast go, beer, 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 which is hilarious.
Such a good one.
And the best is that video that they have of him doing his whole beer, 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 beer. Boom. As soon as he gets done, someone just ropes a home run.
Yeah.
And now he's working for the Tampa Bay Rays because they're playing at the Yankees ballpark because Tropicana Field got destroyed by the hurricane last year. So the Phillies are going to 2 AAA ballparks within a couple weeks of each other. I have
Dude
not
got promoted. Beer guy got promoted, dude.
Yeah, he did. He went from spring training to the big leagues.
If he can get one more promotion, still kind of in a way the big leagues. In a way,
yeah. He's
he's
in quad A right now. Do they bring that guy up to the Phillies for CBP 610?
Let's get him up there next to the pirate guy.
Yeah. I'm glad the Phillies didn't play in Pittsburgh this past weekend because something crazy probably would have happened at PNC Park because it seems like that's happening every day.
Yeah.
I don't know what you guys have that out there in the water this year, but Pirates fans are loose cannons.
Dude, it's just a train wreck. It's a horrible situation.
From the team to the fans, nothing is going right.
Yeah. There was like a funny article circulating on the social medias around here like a week ago, and it was saying that like PNC Park, which is notoriously a beautiful stadium, that like PNC Park was threatening to leave the city. Which Pirates fans, Pittsburghers got a big kick out of.
I mean, everything from them taking Clemente off the wall to the guy falling off the wall to the usher beating some guy with a belt.
With his belt, dude.
I mean, it has been talk crazy. About belt to ass.
Yeah.
in the literal sense, not metaphorically.
It's total implosion, dude. It's just terrible. Fired their manager. He didn't sneak that one. And fired their manager.
Bud Black, right? No, that was
that was Rockies.
That was Rockies. They fired him too. But yeah.
Shelton.
Okay. I'm sorry, I can't say I've been keeping up on the
stuck.
Pirates too much outside of O'Neal Cruz and
not
Paul
much
Skeens.
To keep up on, Colin. It's all good.
No, O'Neal Cruz hits the shit out of the ball, and Paul Skeens is really good. Other than that, I don't really know much about the Pirates.
That's all you got to know.
Yeah. Yet again, I'm just looking at the schedule here. Yet again, we do not get to go to Toronto to see the Phillies play in the Rogers Center from the Center Field Hotel. One day, man. One day, you and I are going to go up there if it's a weekend series. We're going to make it happen. That is awesome. A bucket list item.
Every once in a while, I think about that. Also, like, I'll just be listening to a Blue Jays game, and I'll think about that and what that's like. And also, I found out the other day on baseball, we're on Baseball Stadiums talk. Did you know that Wrigley, someone told me at work this the other day, and I looked up pictures, and it appears to be true. I mean, they were there in person. But behind the outfield, there's like houses. And on top
they have the rooftop
of the houses, there's literally bleachers built on top of the roof.
Oh, yeah, it's famous. That's a famous
crazy
thing about Wrigley.
Dude. But they're houses that are not attached to the stadium, right?
No, it's across the street.
It's across the street, and there's bleachers built on top of the roof.
Yeah, it's like if Fenway on the other side of the Green Monster, which is the highway, if beyond the highway there was an apartment complex with bleachers on top, it would be the same thing. I have a buddy who works, shout out Dooney. I have a buddy who works for Philly Sports Trips, and he was out there when the Phillies were playing, or maybe it was just another game, but he was sitting up in those bleachers, and it looks just like a continuation of the outfield stands from when you're sitting there.
It like the bleachers. I mean, they're bleachers, so they all kind of look uniform, probably, but they blend right in with the outfield ones. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's not too dissimilar from what used to be the CP Rankin rooftop club out there in right field. It's Citizens Bank Park, which is above Ashburn Alley, which is basically the size of a street. It's probably a pretty similar viewing point. Yeah, Wrigley. I want to get to a game there. I want to get to a game at Fenway. I've been to Yankee Stadium, the new one, but that was for a football game. So I want to hit some of these away baseball games, but it's a little harder to plan. Or not. It's not harder to plan. It's just you got to make plans well in advance. And like a football game, you can plan 6 months out, all that. And baseball's always during the summer, so it's tough for me to leave. But I digress. The Phillies are playing some cupcakes and are beating up on them. Good to see that,
as they should.
Yep, and let's hope they keep it going.
I think so. Bryce Harper in the last 7 days, last 6 games here, has 10 hits in 20 at bats, 6 RBIs. He's batting 500. He's not hitting with a lot of power yet. Out of those 10 hits, 2 are doubles, no home runs. I'm predicting that tonight he hits a home run and he starts getting some power in his bat. Obviously, the recipe is right in terms of the Rockies stadium and the Rockies pitching, along with the A's. But it feels like he's starting to see the ball better, and he really is having really good at bats, in my opinion. Usually the power follows that. So I am predicting that he's going to start hitting with a little bit of power here and heating up, and I am here for it.
Yeah, and I just saw that the Phillies are now a half game in front of the Mets, which I think is their first NL East lead all season. And they need to make hay while the sun is shining, playing against the Pirates, which they took care of, the Rockies and the A's, because the Mets are playing Boston, and then they have 2 series with the Dodgers in the span of 2 weeks, playing 7 games. So that could spell a little trouble for them. Now, those 2 Dodger series are sandwiching series against the White Sox and Rockies, so they'll get some wins in between.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's good to see the Phillies keeping up with the Mets, the $1 million or multi-billion-dollar empire that is Steve Cohen and his team up there in the Bronx or Queens. Sorry.
It was nice watching Soto at Yankee Stadium, just drowning out there,
eviscerated,
just pretending that he didn't care.
Yeah. Yeah, there's trouble in Mets land with Soto. Apparently, he was dogging it last night on a long single off the wall. I saw that.
Yeah. I think he was just like really trying to play it cool, and it made him look like, and he was just kind of like playing lazy, not really running hard for balls in the outfield. And I don't know how long he's going to play outfield, Colin. He looks pretty bad in right field. He can't really throw the ball like at all. His IQ in the outfield seems low. He doesn't seem like he wants to be there. I'm not sure how long he's going to be in right field.
He might go to DH. Who's their DH off the top of your head?
I mean, in the grand scheme of things, I'm not necessarily saying this year, but he's on he got like a 15-year, like 15 he's there years until he dies. Yeah. And I just don't know if he's going to play right field for like two or three. He looks horrible in right field, but
I was watching Around the Horn earlier today, which is sad that it's coming to an end this week. I don't know if you realize that. Around the Horn will be no more.
Wow, I grew up around for a long time. 23
years, I think. I grew up watching that show, that and PTI. I still watch them regularly. It's so sad to see that. But yeah, they were saying, I think it's Bill Barnwell brought up the point. He's like, yeah, Juan Soto is less than stellar at everything except hitting. And hitting, he is all world and one of the best we've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like the Mets are just taking what they can get from him. And there's always a learning curve with a new player on a new team. So we'll see how that plays out. But hey, if they keep losing some games, that's fine for me. It's fine for the Phillies.
Yeah.
So, all right. Anything else on the Phillies? Because there's a couple.
Last
Go ahead.
one is the big one. I'm just confirming here because I was at was at work. Give me a second. Yeah. So Schwarber hit 300.
Yes.
His 300th home run yesterday, and Colin, he really did. He really hit the heck out of that ball. And who did he do it against, Colin?
I don't know. Who?
What did we talk about last week? A lefty. He hit it against a freaking lefty, dude. Just really cool what he's doing. And I mean, it was a triple deck home run. It was just absolutely murdered. Pretty cool way to hit 300. He feels like he has 600 home runs. It's almost surprising to me that he only has 300. But yeah, pretty awesome stuff.
Oh my God, 466 feet off the third deck.
Yeah, I think it was top 5 this year in terms of distance, but I don't have that in front of me right now.
I mean, anything over 450 is a moonshot. Yeah, I was definitely passed out by 8:00 last night, so I woke up for maybe a half inning, and then saw the write-up this morning. But good for Schwarber, keeps slugging away. The Phillies keep slugging away.
Let me give you a fun fact. So it does look like it was the 5th longest based on what I'm looking at. If what I'm looking at is true, who do you think has the longest home run in baseball so far this year? I don't think you're going to guess it, dude.
Is it Giancarlo Stanton?
No, he hasn't played a game yet.
Oh, he's still out. That shows how much I follow the Yankees. It's not. It's probably not Otani. It's probably not Judge.
Judge is 2
Okay.
with 468 feet. Oh, so actually, it looks like Schwarber hit the third longest because Yelich is 3 with 465 on this list. So that would put 466 at third. So
Is
yeah,
it
it's
someone
not
from the
Ohtani.
Cubs?
It's someone from the Angels.
Oh, is it Logan O'Hoppe?
It's Mike Trout. Allegedly hit a 484
What?
home run, dude.
That's insane. That's insane.
It's insane. I never would have guessed that. Of course, he's out right now with injury because it's been a couple of weeks into the baseball season. But he hit a 484.
That you don't even see that in the home run derby.
I gotta after this, I gotta look up that clip because that is really surprising to me.
Hey.
He still got some left in the tank, I guess. There.
It would appear so. So, all right, that's about all we have on the Phillies. Now, Dan, we did reconvene last week for the first time in 3 months, and we kind of rehashed important things that had taken place in all of Philadelphia land, sports-wise. There's one thing that we left out on the Eagles that I want to get your opinion on, and that is the new offensive coordinator, Kevin. We didn't really talk much about Kevin Patullo. Or wait, did we?
No, we did not.
Yeah, I didn't think so. So a guy who's been around the NFL for about 20 years, never been promoted to offensive coordinator. This is his highest ranking position in an NFL organization. And it kind of feels like a retread of 2023 when they had Brian Johnson, an unproven coordinator, and we all saw how that went. Now, that wasn't entirely the offense's fault. That was mostly the defense, but it still wasn't a stellar offensive scheme, and we saw what happened when we brought in Kellen Moore last year, went to the Super Bowl, won the Super Bowl. Offense looked pretty great. What are your thoughts on the hiring of Kevin Patullo? Because from what I've heard, he is been around Sirianni for a while. They're friends. Is this a friendly promotion? Is this something that is going to bode well for the Eagles? Because to me, if you're in an NFL locker room organization for 18, 19 years and you've never been promoted to offensive coordinator or anything higher, that leads me to believe there's never been something that has shown the leadership that, oh, this guy should be promoted. And I was kind of hoping they'd get a big name. It's not like I know all the big names that were out there OC-wise, because a lot of them got head coaching jobs. But I am slightly nervous about the offense and the scheme going into this season. Are you?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it looks like he is kind of, they had connections through the Colts just based on looking at like his resume. And then in 2021, Patullo was hired by the Eagles for their passing game coordinator under Sirianni. Obviously, they've had a lot of success with the offense in that time. And then this year is promoted to offensive coordinator. So it does feel it is. I mean, it's very much like a hiring within type thing that hasn't worked out well in very recent history. It's really hard to replace what they had last year, by the way. So it's not like I have another name in front of me that I wish they got. I wish they had Kellen Moore still. So it feels like. It smells like Sirianni being really involved in the offense, at least early, doesn't it? Like, I'm going to stay away from the defense, which we already would have expected anyways, but it feels like it feels like a hire that leads to him being much more involved with the offense than maybe he was last year with Moore, is kind of my first thoughts, kind of the biggest thing that comes out to me. So, yeah, I don't have much more beyond that. I mean, you're obviously the team and offensive players already know this guy really well. He's like very involved with Hurts, of course. So I wonder if they're maybe just trying to do something that has the softest blow and to try to just keep what they had going last year. Yeah, that's my read on it. Not trying to shake anything up too much. It worked well last year. Let's just try to keep what we had, and let's just keep kind of the guys in the building and try to not even recreate that, just repeat it.
Yeah. My hope is that being around Kellen Moore and learning from his scheme last year, that Patullo takes a lot of what he learned as his passing game coordinator and implements that for the offense. And it's one of those things. I mean, like we kind of saw, and we know what the Eagles do well. I mean, Jalen Hurts is a multifaceted quarterback. They have one of the best running backs in the league. Just let them kind of do their thing and don't make bad play calls. Just, you have the pieces there. Kind of just let them do it, right? I don't think you need to revamp the engine. You don't need to redo the wheel. I do need to bring this up, though, because I got a Twitter notification, and it's apropos to what we just talked about. Phillies just put out a tweet that says, point of view, you climb up to see where Schwarb's 300th landed. And I want you to take a look at this.
Oh, my God.
Way up there, dude. That's wild.
That's crazy. Dude, I
That
was
is
really
so
nervous
far.
on that home run and I went to the Pirates game where the guy fell out of the stadium, and that ball, because it hit up at 300, it kind of hit either a chair or the front face and then came back down and was going back, bounced a couple times, was going back into the field, and a guy on the front row of that first seating area like reached out and grabbed it, and from like the waist up was bending over. I was like, oh no.
Could you
not
imagine?
again, dude! It was
Imagine
crazy.
another guy
There
falls
looked
out
like
of
there were people
outfield.
behind him, like kind of holding him a little bit, but it was like, dude, oh my gosh, oh my goodness, crazy.
Well, it's a good thing that guy
would have
wasn't
soured
completely
the moment a little bit there.
Yeah, a little bit. Glad that guy wasn't blackout drunk like the guy in Pittsburgh.
They're gonna
but
start
that's-
making people wear seatbelts, Colin.
Front row of the outfield comes with a seatbelt.
I'm telling you, dude. It was kind of. I'm telling you, if you watch the replay and check it out, it was a little concerning. I don't think I'm overreacting.
I'll have to go back and rewatch it. The other thing that is pertinent to the Eagles is the second owners meeting is going on, and tomorrow there will be a vote on the Tush-Push.
Yeah.
And the Packers have put out new verbiage as to why they want the play banned.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think it's going to get passed. I from what I'm hearing is it's not going to get passed this year, but steam is slowly starting to build from last year, the first owners meeting, now this second round of voting with the owners, that it might not happen now, but there's a chance that it does happen in the future, as in like next year.
Mm-hmm.
But the whole thing is, and everybody talks about it, it's an Eagles fan, is like, okay, just because one team does it well, that doesn't mean it's a cheat or a bad play. It's just something that the Eagles have mastered. And we've talked about it ad nauseum, how great it is for us Eagles fans to have that play. I would just hate to see it get banned because the Packers are jealous that they can't do it.
Yeah.
And the other crappy thing is I saw it when they had the last round of voting, is that the Bills, Sean McDermott was the one talking the most crap on it, and they run it the second most in the league.
But not very well.
Not as well as the Eagles.
Look at the playoff games. Look at the game they lost to the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we talked about that through the playoff run when they lost to the Chiefs. It's like they tried to run the Tush-Push. They weren't able to succeed, and that's part of the reason they lost the game.
That's the thing that bothers me the most is McDermott is one of these people, and all the coaches that are saying we want it banned because it's a safety issue. Well, let's all see if they run it this year.
Yeah.
Because a lot of them ran it last year. McDermott ran, like you said, a ton. So it just like sounds really stupid and funny when you're that worried allegedly about it being a safety issue, but you're so willing to put your players at such risk all the time. Like it just to me that's stupid. It's pretty hypocritical in my opinion.
I was going to say, if the Bills run it more than 10 times this year, that is just absolute hypocrisy.
Right?
And there's been no documented injuries stemming from this play.
Right.
That is what I hang my hat on, and why I have such an issue with them trying to ban it. They're trying to push the injury thing, but there's been no documented injuries stemming from this play.
Well, and if they ban this, I am assuming the QB sneak without the pushing in the back will still be allowed. And how does the pushing, the tush-push, yield any more injuries or injury potential for injury than just a regular quarterback sneak? I would think it probably does not.
And it also, to my knowledge, negates any pushing of any player downfield. And I saw a thread on Twitter earlier. There was like a dozen plays where guys were scoring touchdowns because of running back or wide receivers downfield, and they end up pushing him into the end zone or pushing him for a first down. Like all that's going to be banned. And what's to say that that's not a football play? Or that is a football play, and the tush-push is not, just because it's the quarterback at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that
pulling is the one that's illegal, right?
Yeah.
So you can't pull a guy forward, but you can go around and push him.
Mm-hmm. And how many times do we see that in the course of an NFL season?
Beautiful lineman play that you see every once in a while, where a lineman comes and like stabilizes a running back or a player and keeps him going. It's like it's a beautiful thing that happens every once in a while, and it's special. I don't want to lose that, dude. It's special. It gives more meaning to linemen during a play.
Yeah, and especially because the Eagles have such great offensive linemen that on run plays, they're all the way downfield. They're in the position.
Yeah.
If it's Saquon that gets stopped at the line of script or the first down marker, that they could come through because they're probably going to be right there and give them another 2-3 yards, get the first down, keep the drive going.
Yeah. Speaking of Saquon, it's been told to me that Saquon's going to be on the Madden cover. The next Madden is going to be the backwards hurdle.
I saw that. Yeah, I saw the clip of it.
The most obvious decision of all time. And Madden people right now are, tirelessly working on figuring out how to add that move into the game, by the way, which is hilarious. They literally have to add that in the game.
This is my work laptop.
Yeah, that's sick. That's so
To those
sweet.
who are listening, I have a sticker of Saquon jumping backwards over my HP logo on my laptop.
That's so sweet.
Yeah, I mean, how could you not pick that play for the Madden cover? Yeah. That image of Saquon jumping backwards, and I forget the guy from the Jaguars, but he's going to live in infamy for that play, and that is going to be one of the most iconic visuals in NFL history. That was
Globetrotters type stuff right there.
It was. I mean, we'll never see something like that again, ever.
No. We'll see someone try, and they will die. They'll break their back.
They'll break their back. They'll get their nads munched by a helmet. Something's not going to go well if anybody else tries that.
Yeah.
That's why Saquon is one of one. He just busted that out mid-run and was able to just make it happen. I mean, from spin move to reverse hurdle, something we'll never see again. So yeah, that hopefully there's no Madden curse. Please. We don't need that.
Yeah. I mean, the Madden curse had a heck of a run. It really, really did. But I think I haven't heard the Madden curse conversation in the last
it's been a while.
Several years, which is good.
I also don't remember who's been on the Madden cover the last few years because I rarely play, if ever. So I'm not really the guy to ask there.
It had a heck of a run there in like I want to say like early / mid 2000s, even like the 2010s. But
Adrian Peterson and Peyton Hillis stand out.
I saw that the other day, Con. I was like, I know it was crazy 5 years ago, maybe even 10 years ago, but it is crazy that Peyton Hillis was a Madden cover.
I mean, you want to talk about a one-season wonder?
Wow.
Guy just busts out onto the scene as an amazing season, gets on the Madden cover, gets injured, never heard from again.
Man, if we ever do like an overreaction segment on this podcast, we should just call it like a Peyton Hillis segment or something like that.
I love
it.
But
most people don't even know that name. Like, I hardly know that name. And he was a Madden cover.
I'll never forget him because of the Madden cover.
Yeah.
But I guess if he wasn't on the Madden cover, he would have just been lost in obscurity.
And even more perfect is the team he played for. The Browns.
The true flash in the pan NFL team. Yeah, right?
It's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, what was it, 3 years ago when they finally made it to the playoffs, beat the Steelers, and haven't been back since?
Yeah, good stuff, man.
So, all right, it's getting to be around 7 o'clock. I have a hard out here, so I think we're going to wrap it up shortly. Dan, closing thoughts, if you have anything on your mind. I don't know if you watch the PGA. I'll just say Scotty Scheffler is a man among boys when it comes to the PGA.
What happened? Why is that? Was it weather conditions? Scores seemed really bad as a whole. Was that difficult of a course, or was it weather? Or,
I mean, it's tough. Yeah. The golf course was really soft on Thursday, their first round, which is why scores were kind of low. But yeah, the wind picked up. The course got consistently more firm as the weekend went on. It is a very long and difficult golf course, especially the ending. Um, yeah, I mean, it was a decent major championship. It looked like Scotty was going to get tested on Sunday. He was tied for the lead and then ended up winning by 5, almost 6.
Yeah,
But he's
domination.
so good, man. He's so good.
Consistency breeds excellence, Colin. I heard people probably won't hear about this, but I want to impress you with something that I have heard is that I guess like I'm going to get probably some small details wrong here, but like going into the weekend, the top like 50 golfers have to get their drivers checked or their clubs checked or something like that. And Scotty Scheffler and I think Rory as well, like they didn't pass the inspection
Yep.
test or whatever. So is the idea that basically like a driver gets worn down enough that it actually gets like better?
Yeah. So to
That
my
makes no
knowledge,
sense to me.
the physics of it is that the driver face gets worn out, gets thinner, which makes it springier, which makes the ball come off
Wow.
faster, and then
Hmm.
thus becomes non-conforming and illegal because the physics behind it is all about you know how fast the ball comes off of the face of the club based on the speed at which the club is swung, and it gets to a certain extent where it is deemed illegal because it's coming off faster than when the club was manufactured to spec. So yeah, both Rory and Scotty had their drivers deemed unplayable at the PGA, and they randomly choose 50 players. It's not necessarily the top
Is it
50, but
random? Okay, I thought it
yeah,
was the top guys.
random. I think it's random that Rory and Scotty were both chosen. It's one of those.
Okay.
It's like a random PED test. Oh, is it really that random?
Yeah.
Uh, yeah. So that did happen. It didn't go well for Rory, but Scotty had no issue.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
he's a beast. Hold on to that driver there, Scotty.
yeah, he even said he's like, I've had this driver for a year. I kind of figured it was coming at some point.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
But yeah, sorry, there was my PGA minute. I just wanted to get a little golf
Yeah,
chatter
dude.
before we got out of here.
Dude, it's good stuff. It's good stuff. I've been getting into it more and more every year.
Well, my last bit on golf is in a couple of weeks. Um, the U.S. Open is coming to your backyard in Oakmont, which I've played
Wow.
before. Yeah, it's coming to Oakmont Father's Day weekend.
Wow.
So keep your eye out for a bunch of people in town wearing golf polos.
Yeah, all right. Will
I
do.
think I think I'm
Like,
gone that weekend, or else I'd be coming out. I would love to see that event, but tickets are also like $200.
yeah.
But anyway, I can't wait to watch that, especially having played it twice in the like when I was living out there. It's going to be cool. Yeah. So there's
Is
there's
that
our
like
little
a
golf
private?
minute.
Is that like a private course?
Oh yeah, Oakmont is one of the most exclusive country clubs in the entire country, and one of the most revered. It's one of the hardest. Yeah, it's really hard to get on there. I just got lucky being in the industry that I got to play over there a couple times.
Oakmont, famously known for their bakery.
Oh, best donuts in the world.
Secondarily, famously known for their golf course.
Yeah. Yeah. What came first, the course or the bakery? Definitely the course. Yeah. The small town of Oakmont and the nearby Verona are going to be swamped in a month. But good for them.
Bakery's gonna be buzzing, dude.
Oh my God.
Get your cakes now.
The traffic down there is terrible on any afternoon.
yeah.
I can't imagine what it's going to be like during the U.S. Open.
Yeah. Good luck. Good luck.
So, all right, Dan, let's wrap it up. It's been a pleasure talking with you once again. If we don't do next Tuesday, I'm sure we'll do either Thursday or the week after. Sports is a little slow outside the Phillies, so we'll chat on here as we need to. Anything that comes up, we will keep you informed. And yeah, thank you for listening to the Del Valley Sports Pod. Dan, do you have anything for the people on the way out? Any closing thoughts?
No closing thoughts. I mean, I kind of went early there a little bit with the. I just remember that consistency breeds excellence, and Harper's been consistent right now. 10 out of his last 20. He's about to mash. So maybe I don't know. Just keep an eye on it.
I'm gonna put a few shekels on him to go yard tonight. I'm definitely doing that.
Feel good about it.
Love it. All right, Dan. Thank you to everybody who has streamed. Listen, if you made it this far, we love you. And once again, this has been the Del Valley Sports Pod, episode number 67. And we'll talk to you guys next time. Later, Dan.
Go Phils.
Go Phils.